Do you have something to say to the world? Most of us do. Whether it's news about your family or friends, a business you want to publicize, or a personal journal that you want to keep, there is one way that you can share it with the world. Start a blog. This is the homepage of my own blog. What's so funny about unemployment? It's a blog that I started as a personal journal and humor journal last year, and it's titled after a speech I gave to this group last year. Some advice that I would give if you're thinking of starting your own blog is, first of all, I assume that most of you, if not all of you in this room, are familiar with computers and that you have your own computer and that you're familiar with the internet. And that you, like I, have a purpose in mind for your blog. Some of you may have a business that you want to promote. Some of you, like me, may want to start an online journal and share it with people. Others, like, say, our president, may have an interest or hobby, such as his in vegetarianism, that they might want to share news or thoughts about. Others, like Stuart, may want to publicize the comings and going of their political candidate. One thing that I would suggest, if you do start a blog, is to post at least weekly, not necessarily every day, but at least once a week, to keep it current. It can be pretty bad if you start following a blog and find that someone hasn't posted for a few weeks. You start to wonder, what happened to that person? Do they not care anymore? Do they want to see their blog die? Your blog can be a public or a private one. It can be about your business or it can be personal. It can be simple, or if you're a computer geek, it can be very complex. It's up to you. My favorite blogging service is called WordPress.com. I switched to it last spring after starting my blog at another service because I found that most of the blogs I liked used WordPress.com or its sister service, WordPress.org. It can be a simple service to use, or it can be quite complex, depending on how you want to use it. Starting with it can be as simple as pressing the signup.now button after you go to their website. This is the form that you use to start your own account there. It asks for some simple information about you. You set up a username, a password, provide them with your email address, and check off to ensure that you have read and agreed to their terms of service. And after you fill out that page, you set up your own URL or website address, because a blog is basically your own website. And then after you set up your own website address, it does give you at least one other page of settings that you set up, such as the title for your blog, the language that you want it in. If anyone here is bilingual or multilingual, it does support languages other than English. The time zone that you want your blog to be in, because it does have support time zones from throughout the world. And it doesn't show it here, but how you want your date to be set. And this is how you make your first post and subsequent posts. It has room for a headline, and the area where you make your post is like a little word processor with formatting, even a spell check and a help button. And once you write a draft, you can save it, although it does auto-save. You can preview it to see what it looks like. You can make it public or private. Most of mine are public, if not all of them. You can either publish it immediately or you can set it to publish it another day. You can trash it if you don't like it, publish it if you do. Now, this is the default setting for the background or theme of WordPress.com. If you ever see something that looks like this on the internet, it's the default setting for WordPress.com blogs. I set my own to this so that you can see what a WordPress.com blog looks like if you don't change it. But they have over 80 or 90 themes available so that you can have something that looks pretty much how you want it to look. But you don't have to change it, it's up to you. Again, this is my own blog. It has what's called an About Me page. Most bloggers have that. It explains something about you and why you're writing the blog. I even got a comment on it from a fairly famous unemployment blog called the 405 Club in New York. This is what's called the dashboard. When you sign into WordPress, it gives you basic information about what your blog, what you've done with your blog rather, how many posts you've made, how it's been indexed or rather categorized and tagged, which is a way of indexing the blog, how many comments you've received, and if you've received any spam. And this is how much spam you've been protected from by their programs. And one trend that I've noticed is that some blogs have their own Facebook pages or fan pages. I have one, and it sends updates, both a feed to the blog and updates that I can make to a small number of fans that I have. A few of them are in this room. And if I wanted to, I could even advertise my blog on Facebook with an ad that looks like that. Now, if you wanted more information about blogging, I recommend, now this isn't, to use the word of the day, to be disparaging. Blogging for Dummies, or WordPress for Dummies. Not that you're a dumb audience, but these are good books, good simple books about the subject. We all do have something to say to the world. And, pardon me. Blogging is a way to say it. And I encourage you to, if you do start a blog, to have fun having your say. And if you do want to start a blog, I do recommend the service WordPress.com. Mr. Toastmaster.